Hi everyone, my name is Sarah Sid John and this is my presentation for Assessment 1, Design Research. So firstly, the University of New South Wales holds an Orientation Week, also known as O Week, in order to welcome both returning and new students and staff to campuses. Activities and services include information sessions, campus tours and workshops, with some common activities having been adjusted to accommodate for those international students currently abroad. And in an aim to promote the social connectivity of the event, I believe the focus should be shifted onto the participation and motivation of the intended users. Based on conversations from peers from both an undergraduate experience and postgraduate experience, and from those who either went to other universities or are currently attending them, there is this assumption that O Week is for those starting their first year of university. So there's often an understanding that there is little reason to attend if you are past that initial point in your studies. If these perceptions are shared by the majority, then there are perhaps further limitations put on international students in creating these social connections. There is an opportunity to challenge the concept of UNSW's O Week, and I propose that O Week should undergo a rebranding, in a sense, in response to the research results, to develop a system in which the event can market its intention of having an O Week to beyond orientation. So the problem space surrounds, of course, the lack of intended social connections made from the attendance of O Week, especially regarding COVID-19 and the university's international students. And this starts at the targeted users and exploring the emotional roots relating to the event. From a general observation, the main perception is that O Week is intended for those starting their university experience for the first time, and this factor can affect different students and staff's motivation and participation. Orientation is, however, a big part of the event, and historically this is the main motivations for universities to hold O Week. So in the wake of COVID-19, these impressions have further potential to hinder students and staff and their participation. So for those currently international, there are many changes to student life, and an article by the Harvard Business Review investigates the experiences of over 400 students from around the world, highlighting how they dealt with the pandemic and how they're feeling returning or starting school. So this here is an image of the kind of words that they used in the survey. Although there's a few positive, there is a little bit of negative ones as well, such as anxiety, difficulty, stress, living situations, and nervousness, etc. So an insight into what other universities have done. What UNSW does do is that they've utilised more virtual workshops and chat rooms to connect peers prior to attending, and they've also shifted their activities and workshops to online, like video rooms, like Discord, and online speed friending. And the University of Sydney has similar activities and services to UNSW for their O Week. They're quite focused on orientation, but they've categorized the event into domestic, international, postgraduate, and virtual learners. They do have a lot of information and guidance on what to do beforehand, and they provide lots of support for settling into student life. And although their social events for O Week are hybridized, they are quite minimal and they may not cater to everyone. The University of Wollongong, however, has rebranded their O Week to improve the social aspect of the event, and they have renamed it Campus Fest. They've joined with Yours and Owls, which is a local entertainment group, to hold free music and entertainment over the 5 days, which essentially ties in the orientation workshops and services. So this will allow for kind of more people to be drawn to this O Week, and this will probably improve the social connections from that too. I'd be very interested to see the design research data if any surveys were conducted. So these are the stakeholders of O Week, and the assumed needs are to create more exposure, student and staff retention. Some wants from them could be to create space for people to network and also build some rapport with other groups and faculties. And some desires could be creating entertainment for the users, helping them become familiarized with the university, and increasing student employability rate. So some of these personas include a wide array from first year, postgrad, and international students. They have different needs, wants, and desires, and will offer the research a more robust kind of form of data. The first persona, Michelle, is a mainstream user. The second, Diane, is a postgraduate student who will be an extreme user. And the third, Tim, is another extreme user with a unique experience, being an international student. So this will offer insights into strengthening those social connections. So my nominated forms of contextual inquiry will involve a variety of research models. Firstly, I'll use surveys as they're quite fast and effective at gathering data. And particularly, I will use the method of the 5 whys, where you ask 5 questions in a row, why. I'll also do some cultural probing. So this could include some documenting via video or recording via visual diary. And the next is participatory observation. So this can be performed by the researcher, as they can be an observer and a participant as well. So you're playing 2 roles essentially. So conception and conclusion, I hope to receive results that address the change in student life in the wake of COVID-19, and also to uncover some more pain points that will hinder the current social connections and kind of shift the impressions of O Week as a whole. Some constraints will continue to have an impact on the problem, such as locations of other campuses within New South Wales. This will affect the crossover between the faculties. There's also a strain of COVID-19 as well, if anything else happens beyond our control with extra regulations. But as well, I believe there's a really big opportunity after discovering the emotional needs of the users to redefine and rebrand O Week and kind of create a system in which the impressions and the perceptions of O Week can be kind of involved and enjoyed by everyone, and it's taking away from this, of course, main motivation of orientation. Thank you.